Your brain devours 20% of your body's energy. When that fuel runs low, willpower will not fix it, and neither will caffeine. A long-forgotten molecule might. Most people associate it only with the gym. The truth behind it changes everything. A new parent stares at the ceiling at 3 in the morning, mind heavy and unfocused. An engineer sits in front of a glowing screen, rereading the same email for the 3rd time, unable to hold a thought. For millions, this is daily life, a kind of invisible exhaustion that drains memory, sharpness, and even the simplest decisions. Surveys show that nearly 1 in 5 adults reports chronic mental fatigue, while 1/3 of new parents and knowledge workers struggle with persistent brain fog. The toll isn't just lost productivity. It's missed moments, forgotten names, and a constant sense of falling behind. For many, it feels like a private failure. In reality, it's a hidden epidemic. Every morning, the ritual repeats. Coffee for a jolt, a sugary snack for fast relief, maybe a second cup before noon. These quick fixes deliver a brief surge. Heart rate rises, focus snaps into place, and for a moment, the fog lifts. But the effect fades almost as quickly as it arrives. Caffeine and sugar work in minutes, but their impact is shallow, often followed by a sharper dip in energy and mood. Over time, the cycle becomes predictable, reaching for another stimulant as soon as the crash hits. Instead of solving the underlying fatigue, these habits create a pattern of masking symptoms, leaving the real problem, an energy deficit in the brain, untouched. Rows of plastic tubs line the shelves in gyms and sports stores, each promising bigger muscles and faster recovery. For most people, creatine is boxed in as a weightlifter's powder, something for biceps, not brain cells. Market surveys echo this image. Nearly 80% of consumers associate creatine with athletic performance, while only a fraction recognize any connection to mental clarity or cognitive health. Dr. Kate McCarty notes that creatine isn't just a gym supplement. It's an essential molecule for every cell, especially in the brain. The story of creatine has been stuck in the locker room, missing its far broader role. It's time to look beyond the label and ask what this molecule actually does inside our heads. Inside the skull, the brain runs on a relentless current of energy. Although it weighs just 2% of body mass, it burns through about 20% of the body's total fuel, most of it in the form of ATP. Neurons fire in rapid bursts, each signal draining ATP reserves within milliseconds. Here, creatine steps in as a molecular battery. Through the phosphocreatine system, it donates a phosphate group to ADP, instantly recycling it back into ATP and keeping mental processes running smoothly even during high demand. Dr. Andrew Ray, a cognitive neuroscientist, puts it plainly: when you add creatine, brain cells can recycle energy faster, keeping neurons firing more efficiently. This rapid buffering is essential, not just for athletes, but for anyone whose brain is pushed to the limit by stress, sleep loss, or heavy thinking. The science is clear: the creatine. A TP cycle is not about muscle alone. It is a core feature of how the brain stays sharp under pressure. Controlled trials have put creatine's brain effects to the test. In studies where healthy adults faced total sleep deprivation, a single high dose of creatine, about 20 grams, preserved working memory and processing speed, with effect sizes D equals 0.6 to 0.9. Participants performed up to 29% better than those on placebo, even after a sleepless night. Chronic supplementation, typically 5 grams daily for several weeks, has shown small but consistent gains in short-term memory and executive speed, with standardized mean differences around 0.30 to 0.45. Brain imaging using magnetic resonance spectroscopy confirms these cognitive improvements track with preserved phosphocreatine levels during stress and mental fatigue. The evidence points to a real, measurable impact on how the brain withstands energy challenges. Certain groups stand out as the strongest responders when it comes to creatine's effects on the mind. Vegetarians and vegans, for example, typically have 20 to 30% lower baseline creatine in their muscles and brains because they avoid animal products, the main dietary source. In controlled trials, these participants often show the largest improvements in memory and mental clarity after supplementation. One young vegetarian described finally being able to remember her grocery list without constant rehearsal after 6 weeks of daily creatine. Sleep-deprived shift workers and students pulling all-nighters also show sharper attention and faster reaction times when brain energy is under pressure. Even high performers, athletes, surgeons, or anyone facing relentless cognitive demand can see a measurable lift in executive speed and focus. For anyone who recognizes themselves in these groups, the science suggests creatine may offer more than just a boost in the gym. Creatine is made in the body from amino acids, arginine and glycine, through a two-step process involving the enzymes AGAT and GAMT. While the liver and kidneys handle most of this work, the brain can also synthesize a small amount locally. For most people, diet fills the gap. A 100-gram serving of beef or fish provides about half a gram of creatine, but plant-based foods contain almost none. Once in the bloodstream, creatine crosses into the brain using the SLC6A8 transporter, a specialized protein on blood vessel walls. Raising brain creatine is not instant. Standard protocols use a loading phase, around 20 grams per day for 5 days, followed by a maintenance dose of 3 to 5 grams daily. This gradual buildup is necessary because the transporter works slowly, and it takes at least 1 week of consistent intake to reach higher brain levels. These logistics explain why supplementation is both feasible and measurable, while also setting up the need for careful dosing and safety. Creatine is one of the most studied supplements in nutrition science, with decades of research showing it is generally safe for healthy adults at recommended doses. Large clinical trials and safety registries report no meaningful impact on kidney function when used as directed. Still, creatine is not a miracle fix. People with chronic kidney disease or those taking nephrotoxic medications should speak to a physician before starting. Hydration is important, and doses above 5 grams daily offer no added benefit for most. As one clinician puts it, creatine is a supplemental fuel, not a substitute for sleep or mental health care. Today, brain fatigue is everywhere. Quick fixes rarely solve it. Creatine is not a miracle, but it reminds us sometimes thinking clearer means fueling the system, not just pushing harder. What do you think?